Hello, and welcome to our channel. My name is Umair Malik, and I'll be your narrator today. But before we get into today's story, please do check down below that you subscribe the channel for more content like this. It's 100% free. Revitalize style. 8 colors to avoid after 60 for a younger, more vibrant look. Have you ever caught a glimpse of yourself in the mirror and felt that your reflection looked more tired or aged than the vibrant person you feel inside? As we journey through our 60s and beyond, our relationship with color undergoes a subtle but important transformation. Certain colors that once enhanced our natural beauty may gradually begin working against us, quietly draining our natural glow and adding years to our appearance without our awareness. In this comprehensive guide, we're revealing 8 specific colors that may be aging you unnecessarily after 60, plus offering expert alternatives that can help you look years younger, brighter, and more energized. You'll discover not only which shades might be subtly aging your appearance, but also how to select colors that beautifully complement your evolving skin tone without requiring a complete wardrobe overhaul. Stay with us until the end for practical tips on transitioning your palette without sacrificing your personal style or breaking your budget. Beige and taupe tones. One of the most common color pitfalls after 60 is gravitating toward beige and taupe tones. While these soft neutrals appear safe and sophisticated on the hanger, they can silently drain warmth from mature skin, leaving you looking washed out, fatigued, and older than your true self. As we age, our skin naturally loses some of its vibrancy and pigmentation, developing a more translucent quality. When you pair this softer complexion with muted, low-energy colors like beige, the result is often a flattened appearance that emphasizes every shadow, fine line, and uneven tone. Color psychology research shows that humans are naturally drawn to contrast. It signals vitality, health, and freshness to our visual perception. When your clothing blends too closely with your skin tone without providing that necessary visual pop, your face can fade into the background instead of standing out with healthy, lively energy. Consider Carol's experience, a 72-year-old from Michigan who once favored beige sweaters and sandy-toned jackets. She believed she was creating a classic, timeless look, but when she introduced richer creams, soft blues, and gentle coral tones into her wardrobe, people immediately began commenting that she looked more vibrant, younger, and noticeably happier. The transformation wasn't about purchasing an entirely new wardrobe. It was about strategically choosing colors that reflected and amplified the brightness still alive in her spirit. If neutral tones are your comfort zone, you don't need to abandon them completely. Instead, opt for versions with more life. Warm ivories that enhance rather than drain, soft camel with golden undertones, or muted sage that brings out the natural color in your cheeks. Remember that color is one of the simplest tools you have to influence perception, and choosing shades that lift you up instead of pulling you down is one of the most effective ways to let your true beauty shine, regardless of age. Mustard yellow has enjoyed popularity in fashion circles in recent years, but after 60, it ranks among the most challenging colors to wear gracefully. The difficulty with mustard yellow lies in its muted, murky undertone, an element that can easily highlight sallowness or uneven pigmentation in mature skin. As we age, the natural golden and rosy tones in our complexion often soften or shift in distribution. Rather than enhancing these changes, mustard yellow tends to mirror and exaggerate any dullness, potentially making you appear more tired, serious, and visibly older than you truly feel inside. Color psychology experts note that muted yellows create a visual heaviness when worn near the face. Instead of lifting your features upward, they can pull them downward, emphasizing shadows and imperfections that might otherwise remain unnoticed. The effect is often a disconnection between how youthful you feel and how youthful you appear. Take Joyce's experience as an example. At 74, this Oregon resident loved incorporating vibrant mustard scarves and blouses into her outfits. However, when she experimented with brighter, cleaner yellows, think soft daffodil or light buttercream, she noticed her complexion instantly appeared fresher, clearer, and full of vitality. Friends even inquired if she had started a new skincare regimen, when in reality, it was simply the transformative power of more flattering color selection. For those who enjoy warm-toned clothing, you absolutely need not abandon the yellow family entirely. Instead of mustard, experiment with warm, soft golds or sunny light yellows that add a gentle glow without dragging your features downward. Sometimes the solution isn't eliminating a color family you love. It's finding the particular shade within it that still loves you back at this stage of life. Ashy gray's gray can certainly project elegance, modernity, and sophisticated style. However, not all grays affect your appearance equally. especially after 60. Ashy grays, those with cool, flat undertones lacking warmth, can deplete the natural vitality from your skin and hair, resulting in a paler, more fatigued appearance that adds years unnecessarily. When our hair transitions to silver or white, it naturally softens the contrast in our overall appearance. Pairing that softened contrast with an ashy gray ensemble can create too much visual blending, resulting in a washed-out effect that diminishes the vitality and presence we wish to maintain throughout life's later chapters. Visual experts frequently emphasize the importance of maintaining appropriate contrast levels to preserve a youthful appearance. Without sufficient distinction between your clothing and your natural coloring, facial features can lose definition, and your overall energy may appear diminished, even when you feel vibrant and engaged inside. Patricia, a 68-year-old from Pennsylvania, provides an instructive example. She previously favored ashy gray jackets and trousers, considering them versatile wardrobe foundations. However, when she transitioned to warmer charcoal grays and medium slates with subtle blue undertones, her complexion immediately brightened, her hair appeared more luminous, and her smile became more prominent. She hadn't altered anything about herself. She simply allowed more flattering colors to work their natural magic. For gray enthusiasts, abandoning this versatile neutral isn't necessary. Instead, focus on selecting grays with greater depth, richness, or hints of warmth, tones that provide sufficient contrast to beautifully frame your face and hair. Your wardrobe should enhance the light you carry within, not diminish it. Pale pastels like baby blue or powder pink, soft pastels like baby blue, powder pink, and mint green might appear charming and youthful on the rack, but after 60, they often detract more than they enhance when worn near the face. These very light, muted colors can cause your features to recede, especially if your natural coloring has softened with advancing years. Rather than brightening your appearance, pale pastels often make skin appear duller, eyes less vivid, and the natural contours of the face less defined. This isn't merely about personal color preference. It's about understanding how these delicate shades interact with the maturity and character your skin has developed over decades. Color consultants consistently observe that mature skin benefits from greater color saturation and depth in the garments surrounding it. Pastels, while beautiful on children and younger adults, frequently lack the necessary strength to complement the richness of experience etched into a mature face. Consider Harold's experience, a 70-year-old Virginia resident who routinely wore light blue dress shirts believing they projected approachability. When he gradually shifted to slightly deeper shades, sky blue, soft teal, and even muted navy, his complexion immediately gained healthier coloring, his eyes appeared brighter, and his smile became more prominent. The adjustment wasn't dramatic, but the impact on his overall appearance was unmistakable. For those naturally drawn to lighter colors, you can absolutely maintain this preference. Simply seek versions with slightly more depth and character. Instead of pale powder pink, explore rich rose or warm coral options. Rather than baby blue, try mid-tone aqua or soft periwinkle. Selecting colors with more body and energy doesn't overwhelm your presence. It supports it, highlighting your natural vitality, celebrating your presence, and enabling others to perceive not merely your style choices, but your vibrant spirit. Dark brown is traditionally viewed as a rich, grounding neutral. However, after 60, it can unintentionally age your appearance by creating a flat, heavy effect that dulls your features rather than enhancing them. Unlike black, which offers stark contrast, or warm earth tones that impart a healthy glow, dark brown tends to absorb light without reflecting much back onto your face. When worn close to the face, particularly in jackets, sweaters, or scarves, dark brown can cast shadows that deepen fine lines, harden facial expressions, and make skin appear more tired than it actually is. The effect can be particularly pronounced in indoor lighting, where the warmth-draining properties of dark brown become even more evident. Color researchers have extensively studied light reflectivity, the way certain colors bounce light back onto the face. Dark brown, especially in matte finishes or textiles without visible texture, reflects minimal light, potentially creating a muted, or even severe appearance that fails to reflect the energy and warmth still vibrant in your expression. Susan, a 66-year-old Ohio resident, had accumulated numerous espresso-colored blouses and jackets over the years. When she began gradually replacing them with warmer alternatives, burnt orange, deep olive, and soft cinnamon, she noticed not only that her complexion appeared healthier, but also that people seemed more responsive and engaged during conversations. The shift wasn't about vanity, it was about visibility and connection. This doesn't mean eliminating brown entirely from your wardrobe. Instead, consider choosing lighter, warmer versions like camel, bronze, or chocolate with golden undertones that soften your features while still offering that classic, grounded aesthetic. As we advance in years, our goal isn't to become invisible, it's to remain confidently visible, engaged, and fully present. Burgundy and wine shades burgundy, maroon, and deep wine shades often appear as elegant, sophisticated choices, but as we age, these dark red tones can inadvertently emphasize aspects we'd prefer to minimize. These colors tend to intensify natural redness in the skin, drawing attention to broken capillaries, blotchiness, or rosacea that become more common with advancing years. For those who develop more sensitive or reactive skin over time, these deep shades can exaggerate the appearance of inflammation or uneven tone, particularly in the cheeks, around the nose, and on the chin. The result is often a face that appears more flushed, more serious, or even more fatigued than how you actually feel. Color psychology research indicates that red-based hues evoke intensity and boldness, qualities that can be empowering when used judiciously. However, when worn near the face in deep, saturated tones, they can compete with rather than complement your natural features. This creates an unintentional visual dissonance that doesn't serve your overall appearance. Joanne, a 73-year-old from New Mexico, provides an illustrative example. She previously favored a burgundy cardigan for special occasions, considering it festive yet dignified. However, when she experimented with a dusty rose wrap featuring a subtle shimmer, she experienced a noticeable transformation. Her skin appeared clearer, her eyes brighter, and her entire demeanor lighter and more approachable. She maintained her sophisticated aesthetic, but selected a version that worked harmoniously with her skin rather than against it. If rich red tones feature prominently in your personal style, consider gentler alternatives that still provide warmth without the visual heaviness. Colors like soft plum, rosewood, or muted raspberry offer similar elegance without the harshness that can age your overall appearance. Neon or overly bright colors, neon pinks, electric blues, and highlighter greens certainly command attention, but after 60, they rarely flatter mature skin tones and features. These intensely bright colors can overwhelm the natural softness that develops in aging skin, creating a jarring contrast that draws focus away from your face and onto the clothing itself, rarely the effect we're seeking. As we age, our skin tone, hair color, and facial features naturally become more subtle and muted. Neon colors don't complement this transition, they actively work against it. The result is often a harsh, somewhat artificial effect that makes skin appear more fragile, expressions more severe, and your overall presence less approachable and natural. Color harmony experts explain that high-intensity hues reflect unnatural light onto the face, potentially exaggerating every line and texture. Instead of creating a healthy glow, they can amplify surface irregularities in ways that don't feel particularly flattering or kind to mature skin. Consider Linda's experience, a 69-year-old Arizona resident who treasured a bright lime green scarf purchased during a memorable vacation. When she eventually replaced it with a soft sage green alternative, she noticed something subtle but significant. Her complexion appeared smoother, her smile warmer, and her entire outfit felt more integrated with her natural coloring. The new choice didn't shout for attention. It supported her presence in a more harmonious way. This represents the key principle. When a color becomes louder than you, competing for attention rather than enhancing your natural presence, it's likely not serving your appearance optimally. True boldness doesn't necessarily mean brightness. It can manifest through depth, warmth, and quiet confidence in your choices. Pure white at first glance. Pure white might seem to epitomize freshness and simplicity, qualities we all wish to project regardless of age. However, after 60, stark white can prove surprisingly unforgiving on mature skin. Bright, optical white reflects light intensely, emphasizing every shadow, line, and uneven pigmentation on the face, potentially making skin appear thinner and more washed out than it actually is. Instead of imparting a clean, youthful glow, pure white can create excessive contrast against mature skin, highlighting texture and subtle imperfections that might otherwise blend naturally into your expression. It can inadvertently draw attention to areas you don't intend to emphasize, while diminishing the natural warmth and vitality that remain very much part of your essence. Stylists who specialize in working with older clients consistently recommend exchanging pure white for softer alternatives: ivory, cream, warm beige, or even very light dove gray. These shades still feel fresh and bright, but reflect a gentler, more flattering light onto the face, softening imperfections and bringing a welcoming warmth to the skin that harsh white cannot provide. Margaret's experience illustrates this principle perfectly. At 75, this North Carolina resident had long favored crisp white blouses, believing they projected professionalism and polish. However, when she gradually introduced soft ivory and buttercream tops into her rotation, she noticed an immediate difference. Her skin appeared smoother, her eyes warmer, and she looked noticeably more rested without changing anything else about her daily routine or skincare practices. If you appreciate the clean look of light-colored garments, you certainly don't need to abandon this preference. You simply need to become more selective about the quality of light you invite to reflect onto your skin. Practical transition tips as you consider these color insights. Remember that evolving your palette doesn't require discarding your entire wardrobe or abandoning your personal style. Here are some practical approaches. Start with accessories near your face. Scarves, necklaces, and earrings in more flattering tones can immediately brighten your appearance when shopping. Bring a more flattering comparison color. To hold against potential purchases, consider color blocking. Keep more challenging colors away from your face by pairing them with more flattering colors in tops and jackets. Invest in quality makeup and harmonious tones that can help counterbalance less flattering clothing colors on days you wear them. Experiment with texture. Sometimes adding visual interest through texture can offset a challenging color. Remember that natural light reveals colors most accurately. Always try to assess new pieces in daylight when possible. Final thoughts as we conclude today's exploration of color choices. Take a moment to reflect on the 8 colors we've discussed. Which revelation surprised you most? Which color might you reconsider in your own wardrobe starting today? We'd love to hear your thoughts, so please leave a comment sharing one insight you gained and how you plan to refresh your style to celebrate the vibrant, confident person you are right now. Remember that adjusting your color palette isn't about rigidly following prescriptive rules or surrendering your distinctive personal style. It's about making intentional choices that enhance rather than diminish your natural beauty. Selecting shades that energize you, reflect your inner vitality, and help you present your most radiant self to the world every day. Every choice you make, even seemingly small ones like the color of a blouse or scarf, can either add years unnecessarily or gently diminish them. The empowering reality is that you maintain complete control over these choices at every stage of life. Thank you for joining us today for this color exploration. We'd love to hear your personal experiences and insights. Please leave a comment sharing one thing you learned and how you plan to apply it in your life. Your thoughts and experiences are valuable to our community, so please don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments provides tremendous motivation and insight for creating future content. If you found this guide helpful, please like, subscribe, and share with friends who might benefit from these color insights. Your support enables us to continue creating substantive content designed to inform and inspire you on your style journey. We look forward to connecting with you again in our next video.